my 7-year-old sat on a panel with the WPATH board,
Nice.
which is the World Professional Association for Transgender Health, for those who don't know. And
Right.
it's a worldwide organization with very few trans people on it, but Jameson Green, who is a trans man, who is one of my idols, is the outgoing president. And I got to, like, my kid sat next to Jameson Green, you know?
Right.
And I'm practically alive because of Jameson Green, because of his Becoming a Visible Man book and his showing up at trans conferences. And there's a great PDF somewhere, and it might be from Glisten, it might be from one of the trans student educational resources or something, that says trans visibility saves lives.
Yeah.
And when I look at I went to that young man I talked to you about that's gay, his older cousin was a trans woman, and she took her own life because the support wasn't quite there. The therapists weren't quite right. And so she's surrounded by love and support. And she was at one of the women's colleges, and she still died at 21 or 23. Yeah. And then Blake Brockington. And when I learned about him, I said, Homecoming King takes his own life. Well, guess what? He read the comments. He talked about how reading the comments on the beautiful, positive story he was having was one of the things that held him down. He said, how can I live in this world where adults say such horrible things about me?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've very unfortunately had to, used to I didn't read the comments because they made me a little nuts. Now I don't read the comments because, they don't just people get nasty. They don't just take shots at trans people in general. They don't just take shots at me as a person. They started taking shots at my wife, and there were things
right.
like I can't read those comments anymore.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you talk about the fact that y'all are, educating and doing all that. This makes so much more sense. There's this beautiful sentence that is on your website. I saw it on the donation page. It's probably somewhere else as well. And I absolutely loved it, and I jotted it down to talk to you about it. And it's so funny because now I'm looking at it and I'm going, he has so answered this. But it says, we are so much more than a school.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was going to ask you what you meant by that. And after everything that you've said, I think that you've kind of answered that. Like, y'all are doing so much more than educating children from 5 to 18.
Right. And it's so beautiful because it's doing the work that I love to do.
Right.
It's connecting families with each other. So, one of the first people to reach out says, my 10-year-old got suspended today for using the boys' room at school.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, where do you live? And she tells me where they live. And I say, okay, I'm going to connect you with this mom of a trans kid who lives down the road a piece from you, and she's going to tell you how to handle it. And I'm going to connect you with TYFA, the Trans Youth Family Allies, which is IM8TYFI8.org, and with the Georgia Safe Schools Coalition, and with the PFLAG meetings that happen down your way, and connect you with these other parents of trans youth so that you have other families like yours and other parents who are formidable. And these are rock stars in the community here. And there's enough parents of trans youth down on the south side to form their own school. There's enough parents out in Gwinnett and Cobb County and out there to form their own school now. And they're all connected on Facebook Messenger, partially because of me. Because I wasn't willing to take no for an answer. And I think, and the kids have met each other. And I've gotten to work with Emma Grace that was on the front page of the paper with me. We've been working together for 6 months now, I think. And she has gone from this bullied kid to this shining beacon of hope who laughs. I got to meet, so we did our fundraiser on Saturday night with Pale Clear, Bucky Motter, Jed Drummond, and Chris Hines. Mm-hmm. And this amazing group of people, over 100 people showed up. And Emma's Nana showed up. Her grandma showed up. And she said, I just have to tell you, you are doing so much for my granddaughter than anybody ever has. And to be able to catch that and say, thank you for the acknowledgement.
Right.
And she's the one who reached out to me, and I said, oh, I can't work with the high school kids yet. I'm not ready. And she said she emailed me a second time and said, is there even a small thing I could do to help with Pride School then? Now, the kid has been on the front page of yahoo.com and wearing the T-shirt that she designed. And connecting educators with each other, we all just have potlucks. We just hung out at my house a few times. They've come to events. Getting the queer and trans educators together in a way that they've never come together before. Getting the queer and trans kids together in a way they've never come together before. The parents together in ways they've never come together before. And now this other organization, after Southern Comfort left, THEA formed, which is the Trans Health and Educational Alliance. If you love a trans person or a gender fabulous person, then come join us, is what Lisa Rahman says. And so we all partnered together, and we've created this, working with these super moms, Eli, and now I have extra moms, because my mom's been amazing. My dad doesn't use pronouns around me, but my mom's been amazing. The rest of my extended family's been amazing, even my tattooed biker brother and, of course, my godmother. And I want everybody to have that family. And we see Pride School as a family. And that's why I'm so grateful that are you family means are you gay? Are you queer?
This is an amazing school. So let's talk chops. Opening day, application process. What does this look like? Are applications still open for when y'all are going to open? When are you going to actually, when's the first semester or the first term? What does this look like for you?
Excellent question. So if people are interested in applying, we do have open slots. We have about 15 slots available for this first year. We are open to taking part-time and full-time students, ages 5 to 18. If they go to our website, prideschoolatlanta.org, that's prideschoolatlanta.org, they can click on Apply Now, and they can download our most current brochure and an application. There's an application for students to fill out to share what their perspective is on themselves, and one for their parents as well. And as many parental units as they want to fill out the application, the long questions, they're more than welcome to have as many people fill it out so that we get a clear picture as to who they are. We are most likely going to roll with the DeKalb County schedule for our calendar year, so school would start on or about August 9th. I'm guessing we'll have a few days leading in where, it's one big party and we'll start to get to know each other. And as a democratic model, I'm sure we're going to have a big opening bash at the beginning of August or slightly after we launch. We certainly have more events coming up over the next several weeks and the next several months. We'll be having some more parent information meetings, teacher information meetings, volunteer information meetings. I just talked to somebody today who works for Cirque du Soleil. He's a choreographer. He said, I want to teach dance to your students. So we'll be doing some dance. I've met these lovely chefs that are going to put on some cooking classes. And part-time homeschoolers are welcome to apply, as well as full-time students. Tuition is set right now at $13,500, and that really is just to cover our expenses. But every day we have people sending us money to help offset our costs. So anybody who can even afford $10 a month, if every person who believes in what we're doing can afford $10 a month, that's 2 cups of coffee, to donate to our efforts, we can make our school accessible to every student and actually pay our teachers what they're worth. We have tons of people who want to volunteer for us, which offsets a good $150,000 in salary costs. We have a storage unit full of about $10,000 worth of donated equipment and books and furniture. And we're a democratic school, so a lot of the decision-making is going to happen once we get together as a school of how we're going to spend the rest of our money. But right now we just got approved from the county with our plans to open at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta, which is the uuca.org. If you'd like to see their building, we're renting 3 rooms from them for a very small amount, and we'll have access to their social hall and the playground. which is currently being remodeled. Beautiful space. It's the first integrated church in Atlanta from 1968, and it was my first choice. And it's a very LGBT-affirming church. So you walk in, and everything says everybody's welcome here. Everything says everybody's welcome here. So it's the perfect place for us. And there's lots of queer-affirming churches, queer and trans-affirming churches all around the area, which is great. So we'll have different faith communities to draw from as far as our students go, too, which is cool. So they should watch our Facebook page. They can follow us on Facebook, Pride School Atlanta, on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Pinterest. It's Pride School ATL. And I'm just starting a podcast now, too, called QED, capital Q, capital E, lowercase d, Queer Education. Of course, it has many things, but I'll be interviewing different people around the community and around the country and around the world, just kind of like Eli's doing tonight. So I told you, you're next for me. And just today or yesterday, we got on Australian TV on sbs.com.au on The Feed. And if you look up March 23rd, I'll be able to post a YouTube link soon enough. Oh, and I'll tell you one last thing. We got a letter in the mail from Sycamore High School in Cincinnati, Ohio yesterday. I'm going to give these guys a shout-out. Their GSTA, Gay Straight Trans Alliance, wrote us a letter, handwritten letter, and said, we love what you're doing. We've raised $136 with a bake sale, and we want to send it to you all. And we want to know more about your school and what you're teaching, and thank you. And I interviewed with a gal from Eureka High School in Eureka, Ohio, who wanted to know what I thought about gender-neutral bathrooms and such. And their high school is doing what we want to do. They're relatively queer and trans-affirming. They commandeered bathrooms from the staff so that they could have all-gender restrooms. Still no gay kids. I want a school where gay boys can hold hands. Yeah. And not just two of them.
Right.
That's what I think that's the goal in the long run. When boys can make out the way boys and girls make out, when they can kiss each other goodbye in the hallway, give that peck on the lips or whatever like boys and girls do, when they can hold hands without harassment anywhere around town, whatever, in the locker room and stuff, then I think we've made a difference. And the thing I didn't say, Eli, is that all the bathrooms are gender neutral in our school. Nobody has to claim any space in order to be able to pee in peace. And everybody's welcome at our school. Everybody.
So for all of our listeners, you really do need to go check out this website. It's a great website. It gives tons of information about not only how you can donate, but also information on how to contact Christian. It also has, the application forms and things like that. So as Christian said, that is www.prideschoolatlanna.org. Go on over to their Facebook page and like it. You'll be able to keep up with all of the events and fundraisers or anything else that's going on. And so, Christian, I swear I could talk to you about this for days. Education has been something that's been pretty near and dear to my heart. When I was in college, I co-founded the Safe Zone program at the University of Alabama. And, those kind of educational opportunities are something that I love. So I would love to pick your brain about that. But as I do with most of my interview-type styles, before I say goodnight to everyone, you, as our guest, I would like to give you the last word. So if there's anything that you would like to tell all of our listeners out there, either some words of wisdom or encouragement or hope, this is your moment for our last word.
I would say if you even slightly relate to some of what we're doing here and you believe in what we're doing and you have even $50 that you can part with this year, please donate it to us so that you can see the work that's $50, that $10 a month will save a life. And you are saving lives. And if you watch any of our interviews, read any of the stories, and if you want to see more evidence and you want to see our budget, or if you want to donate big, we'll take big donations too because we're a nonprofit. And we'd love to have you join our family no matter where you are in the world. And it is an honor to bear witness to people's stories throughout this work that we do. And they've all touched my life and the lives of my wife and my children too. And